Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Notify appropriate parties. After a major data breach, it's your responsibility to notify other affected businesses, individuals, and law enforcement agencies. Below are some tips to help guide you throughout the process. Follow all legal requirements. All states and territories of the United States, including Washington, D.C., the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, etc., have set forth legislation requiring all organizations to notify affected parties of data breaches that involve personal information. Depending on the type of your business and the information involved in the data breach, there may be individual regulations and laws relating to your situation. Consult with your attorney to learn more about the laws you're obligated to follow after a data breach. Notify law enforcement. After a data breach, contact your local police department immediately. Fill out a police report and explain your data breach as an ongoing identity theft situation. The sooner they know about the situation, the more effective they'll be in fighting against it. You should also contact the FBI if you run a large organization and vital information was compromised by a network of perpetrators. If your incident has involved mail theft, contact the U.S. Postal Service. This step is important for punishing the individuals responsible for the data breach. Understand if the data breach involved EHRs. Under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, healthcare organizations are required by law to secure all patient and other confidential health records electronically instead of using traditional file cabinet systems. If these health records are compromised, organizations are required to contact the FTC. Contacting the media is also helpful in informing the general populace if their information has been affected. In some cases, you'll need to contact the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services if your organization is covered by the FTC's breach notification rule. Notify affected businesses. It's just not up to you to protect your own data and interests after a data breach. The onus falls on you to also notify businesses that have been affected by your breach. For example, if account information, like bank account numbers and credit card information, has been stolen, you should notify these institutions to help them monitor their customers' financial activity. Also, if you collect and store any data from other businesses, make sure you inform them that you've experienced a data breach. Even if their information hasn't been compromised, informing them will help you maintain transparency. Monitor stolen Social Security information. Arguably, the most private information a U.S. citizen can have is their Social Security number. With this information, a hacker can have a field day in opening up authorized accounts to their victims' expense. If your business collects and stores Social Security information, you should contact the three major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, if this information has been stolen. If your data breach involves a vast number of people, you should advise the credit bureaus of the severity of the situation and recommend that their clients request fraud alerts and freeze their accounts for the time being. Notify individuals. We're going to cover a lot of ground here because the public has the right to know if their information has been affected after a data breach. If you notify your customers that their data has been compromised, they can take the necessary steps to reduce the following damage. When deciding who to notify about this news, you should consider federal and state laws, the type of data stolen by hackers, the likelihood of future data misuse, the potential damage if their data is abused. Furthermore, the FTC recommends that you consult with your local law enforcement agency or the FBI to determine the appropriate timing of notifying your customers so that it doesn't deter the ongoing investigation. Designate a point of contact within your organization to release necessary information to the public and media about the data breach. Give this person relevant information about the data breach, your response, and how your customers should respond as well. Create content, such as letters, whitepapers, and blog posts that communicate all of the information the public expects to know about your data breach. If you don't have a lot of contact information for your audience, consider reaching out to the media. For extra measure, create a toll-free number to answer the concerns of customers. Consider offering at least 1 year of credit monitoring for customers that have been affected by the data breach. This includes identity restoration and identity theft services, especially if any social security information has been stolen. When this information is stolen, hackers can open up accounts in their name. State breach laws will vary, but generally, you'll want to communicate how the breach happened, what information was compromised, how the hackers have used the stolen information, what actions you have taken to minimize the damage, what actions you have taken to protect your customers, how to reach your organization if there are any questions and concerns. Again, people will naturally be both curious and concerned with how to protect themselves in the midst of a data breach. Ethically, it's up to your organization to provide helpful information to guide them on this path. Make sure you provide relevant identity theft prevention instructions from government sources. Also provide actionable tips on how your customers can keep themselves safe in regards to how they interact with your business, such as changing their passwords and more. Finally, encourage people who have had their information stolen to report the theft to the FTC. All of these efforts will work gradually in finding the perpetrators and bringing them to justice, as well as minimizing the damage of a data breach. Do you need new business infrastructures? If your business has been heavily affected by a data breach, it may be time to update your current website and/or mobile app, especially if they were involved in the incident. With that said, we can help. Contact us today to speak to a member of our team about our world-class software development services.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.